Okay, so in medieval India, of course, some early medieval Indian questions were also asked. And in ancient India itself only, we discussed about some early medieval Indian dynasties like Gahadavalas, like Chandelas. We already discussed in ancient India itself only. So to cover the aspect in 360 degree, we've already covered that one. And now we will start with the typical medieval history questions. Again, there is no chronology can be distorted over here. It's a standard disclaimer. So we are going to theme wise, because I already know, I've already watched 2 sessions. That is, I guess you people already know that we are covering theme wise rather than the, but I have tried to give chronology as much as possible itself only. So here also I will try to make it as chronological as possible. But thing is that we are go with theme wise. Okay, so Bhakti and Sufi movement will take one theme. Early medieval India, feudalism will take one theme. And then some of the medieval Indian, we can say certain rulers were asked. That will take us certain themes. So this is going to be a very short session compared to art and culture as well as ancient India. This is around, we'll see how many are there. Okay, so I forgot the exact number. We'll come back to that one. So now the first question, 2015, with reference to Indian history. Which of the following are essential elements of feudal system? So what is feudal system? Feudal system is a decentralized system. First and foremost, we need to understand the concept over here. And when this feudal system began after the Gupta's time period. By the time of the Gupta's only, it had already started because of the land grant system. The land grants led to giving away power of the kings to the local officials, also to the local, sometimes the priests also. So these localized rulers were becoming quite important, and that led to system called as feudalism. It had a huge impact on the Indian economy as a whole, Indian social system as a whole, Indian political system as a whole. Okay, so with reference to Indian history, which are the following essential system of feudal system. So essential features of feudal system: a very strong centralized political authority. So that itself is wrong, because it is not central. Feudalism is decentralized. Emergence of administrative structure based on control and possession of the land. I told you one of the reasons for the emergence of feudalism is land grants. Yes, land. And then again, creation of the lord was the relation between the feudal lord and his overlord. And again, whoever received this particular land grant, so they are binded by whatever the suzerainty of the overlord. And then the people of that area which was given as a land grant to any one official, and the people of that particular area also came under the control of that Doni. Doni means those person who received the land grant. So that is what exactly, that is a feudal lord and his overlord relationship came into being. So this is right. This is right. Okay, so 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 only, and 1, 2, 3. So what is the answer? Answer is B. That is 2 and 3 itself. So this is a concept actually, nothing factual about that one. It's completely concept. We will discuss this concept right now. I've already explained the concept. Now we are going to, that is examine this particular concept. It's decentralized system, like I already mentioned. It's a fractured political system after the Guptas and Harshavardhana time period. That is, we are building into early medieval times. We can say 6th. We can say even if take it as 7th, 8th century AD, 7th, 8th, this kind of system continued until nearly 10th and 11th century AD also, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, 11th century. This kind of system continued for a very longer period of time. Okay, so particularly when you look at the administration of Mauryas, if you have read medieval history, ancient history, particularly the Mauryan administration, it's all about centralization. Because every administrative control during that point of time, that was under the king itself only. So the Mauryan kings, and that centralized systems are trying to break, and that was becoming decentralized system. It's completely becoming decentralized. A major reason is the land grant, and this land grant system began during the time period of Shatavahanas, that is a post-Maurya's time period. So these land grants were started by Shatavahanas to earn the religious merit. It was given to monks of Brahmanas also, as well as Buddhist monks also. And later, these land grants started to be given as a salary also by the time of Guptas and Vakatakas. This is a climax, this is a peak of land grant system. This peak of land grant system led to evolution of the concept called as feudalism. Now the kings became weak because as land grants was given to certain person, the kings also gave certain administrative rights over that particular land, like revenue collection right, law and order rights. And that is the reason kings became quite weak over there. Okay, so it reached peak by the time of Guptas and Vakatakas, and that is the reason Guptas kings, we can say, that is decentralized tendencies. We can see what is centralized tendencies during Mauryas, they started to weaken during this part. If kings were also started to become weakened, because decentralization itself says that the kings are losing their power. And when this land grant was given to certain person, and those persons wanted to become independent, and they tried to sever their relationship with the king, and that led to feudal lords declaring independence. And that is the reason some regional kingdoms we discussed, Maitrakas, Maukharis, go and check ancient history video. Okay, so you must have seen over there some regional kingdoms. The entire regionalization of the politics was happening. The political system which was centralized started to become regionalized because of feudalism or because of land grants. And some posts, because of that one, they are giving up the powers also. Kings, along with the land grant, they are also making the posts hereditary, and that also led to feudalization tendencies. And now these lords start paying tributes. And when the kings become weak, they become independents. Okay, they start making tributes, any kind of tributes, because they sensing the king is becoming weaker, and that is the reason they start paying any kind of taxation to the king. So that become completely weaker too. And now feudalism, some more features are there. And these feudal lords who received the land grants, and they had conflict among themselves. And this conflict among themselves is just to enlarge their area. Okay, they want to become kings right now, because they were feudal lords initially. They were small feudal lords, and now want to become kings, and now they want to expand their territory, and that is the reason it led to a lot of conflict amongst one feudal lord against other feudal lord. And that affected agriculture and trade. Whenever there is political instability, it's definitely going to affect economic stability as well as social stability also, and led to degrowth of the cities. The second urbanization we talked about, now that started to degrow right now. First urbanization IBC, second urbanization was age of Buddha and Mahajanapada, 600 BC to until we can talk about 300 AD, 400, 500 ADs. And now after that one, led to degrowth of the cities. Cities started to grow, because for cities to grow, you require good agricultural base and trade system. But now they started to getting affected, and cities also started to getting affected, and led to fragmentation of the political system because of the regional kingdoms. Fragmentation of political system, and these landlords who received the land grants and who want to increase their power, they came to be called themselves as different names like Samanta, okay, again Sardar, Jagirdar, Zamindar, and Deshmukh. Okay, so these kind of names were being used. These kind of names were being used for different feudal lords, and these are names across India. Okay, so that is Jagirdar and Zamindar is this word which came quite late, especially by the time of when Mughals were there. At the same time when Delhi Sultans came, that is when this word became quite famous. And before that, that is Samantas, Sardars and Deshmukh, these kind of words were used in different parts of the country. And what is the features of feudalism? Very simple. These feudal lords wanted to become king. That is the reason they called themselves Raja and Maharaja. And the tax system was exploitative, because they were guided by selfish interests rather than by the welfare interests. And they did not measure the land before imposing the taxation system, because to impose the taxation, you need to measure the land. But that land measurement was not there. Okay, and that was not based on any kind of, we can say, merit system, and no fixed system to fix the revenue. It was based upon their will. The will of the feudal lords decided the taxation, and that affected the peasants also as well as traders also. In the led to sub-infeudation, because one landlord started granting land to other mini lord, and that mini lord started granting to other lands, other mini lord. So that is led to sub-infeudation. Sub-infeudation, that is granting administrative and collection duties to mini lords. The overlord will be there. The overlord will be there at the top, but he doesn't want to work for several hours. Okay, so now, or he doesn't want to do its own duties. Rather, he is granting the duties to somebody else, and that person also do not want to work. He is granting to someone else. Ultimately, all these mini lords are working for a certain kind of commission, and where should that commission should come from? The peasants. So they started exploiting peasants some more, and that affected agriculture, trade, and that led to degrowth of the cities. There is further granting. Kings gave grant to one person, that person giving grant to some other person, and tenants might not be knowing who the real owner is. Might not be knowing who the real owner of that particular territory they are tilling. And impact, of course, general negative, low level of production only for consumption. Why? If there are no incentives to produce, if your taxation system is not good, why would I produce more? And I will produce only whatever necessary for my consumption. And if there are enough production is not there, exchange will not happen. If exchange is not happen, there is no trade. If there is no trade, no city or urbanization. So it is a general negative effect of feelings of, we can talk about feudalization. And social mobility also got affected. What by social mobility? Like if you have understood the historical concepts really well, social mobility in the sense that is people are the choices to rise up in ladder of society. Like Shudra could become, Shudra was a slave initially. He could have become agricultural laborer. He could have become agriculturalist himself. He could have become trader also. That is, social mobility was there because of urbanization which was growing on. That is, they can improve their material position. But right now, because everything is getting affected, the social mobility stopped. Shudras remained as Shudras, slaves remained as slaves, Vaishyas remained as Vaishyas. So that is how that social mobility has also got affected because of feudal system too. Okay, that is a feudalization concept, entire feudalization concept we understood. So we also understood the entire concept behind that one and how it is evolved, that thing.